we're going to cover is creating views. So very similar to creating a camera view, but we're going to create other elevation views and section views, and also utilizing existing elevation views and section views. So for instance, right now I am on the the first floor reference plan because it's bold here, you can see, and you can see I have some elevation views, some section views, as you can see here, and it also shows the the sheet that this section view is placed on A604. So if I go down to my sheets here, A604 will probably have that section on there. Okay, so and same with this elevation view is on A601. So if I want to go to that view, I can kind of use these as hyperlinks. I can actually double click on the tip of that and it goes right to that view for me. Okay, so I can close this view, go back to my last view, and same thing if I want to go to this elevation view, I can double click on it and it goes to that elevation view. Close that, and say one of these section views, I want to see this section view, double click on it and it goes to that section view. Okay, this section view is colored because they just changed their graphic style here to shaded. If I want to go to hidden line and ignore this save project, get that. So I'm going to close that out. So let's say I want a new section view, but I want a section view of, say this room instead. There's no section view through here. So first off is I'll go to the View tab and I'll click on Section. Okay, and I'll just take my section and click here, drag it down to say here. If I click there. Now if my section is pointing in the wrong direction, I can just hit these arrows here and flip my section around. Okay, and this is the depth of the section. How far do I want my section to appear? So I can also pull this back or forward. Okay, if I want to go to that section view, I can either hit escape a couple times first. I can either double click on this, the section head, or I can just right click and say go to that view. And you can do this on any of these. If I wanted to right click over here, I can also go to that view as well. Go to elevation view, or I can just double click on it and it goes to that section view. Now if I don't want to look at all this information, I can click on this and close this down a little bit more. Let's say I just want to look at this floor for whatever reason. I can do that and zoom up. Okay, so again, I'll close out of that. And you can see as I place these section views, this just means that this hasn't been placed on a sheet, so it can't give me a number like this. So I'll create another section view up on a view section, and like say I want a section view of the stairs. I'll click here, here, and there's my section view. And I can right click and say go to that view, and there's a section view of the stairs. Okay, now if I want to create some elevation views, let's say again view, and I've got elevation views. Okay, so view elevation, click on that, there's my elevation view. Now as you move it around, it kind of points to the objects for you. So if I move this around, like say I want an interior elevation of this room, I can click here and I place that, and you can see this is the, if I pick on the head here, this is the extents of the elevation. If I want an elevation that was a bit smaller, I can pull this in or extend it out. So I don't have to, but now if I right click and go to that elevation view, there's that elevation view of that space. Okay, and from here I can either print it out or maybe do some dimensioning under modify, things like that. Okay, and then print it out, things like that. Okay. So where do all these things go? So where do my section views, when I create my section views like this, where they all get placed in my project browser? So if I go down to my project browser up here, and I'll have sections, elevations, you can see I've got section views. Again, if you don't name them, section view 1, 2, 3, 4, I'd recommend renaming them like these, east, west office, studio, things like that. Same with the elevations. Here's some of the elevations I did. Elevation 1A. I'll keep this up and I'll create another elevation here just to show you again elevation 1A. If I create another one, 2A, 3, 4, and it just makes more of those. So recommend right clicking, renaming it to something that's a bit more meaningful. Otherwise, elevation view 28, 72 doesn't mean something else. So it's probably a good practice to get that a proper name so it means something. Same with your section views.